The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Friday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. Thanks so much for kicking your morning off right here with me. And we got markets picking up right where we left off yesterday. We are almost at session lows right now. Pre-market, NASDAQ 100 off by 0.6% in the red. You see the chart from where we were yesterday, the acceleration to lower prices. You finished the session yesterday with some selling coming into the closing bell, and we're below that price point right now. NASDAQ 100 off by 0.6%, trading at 25,087. S&Ps right now, pretty similar action. You take a look at the slide yesterday. Early in the session, 68.40. The end of the session, 67.40. Almost 100 points yesterday from the high to the low. Today, we're negative by 28 points or 0.4% right now in the pre-market at 67.19. You jump over to the Dow, off by 146 points, basically right at yesterday's lows, off by 0.3%. And you have the Russell, off by 0.8%, 24.09 right now. Bitcoin, chopping around near 100,000. We were just below that level. We're at 100,325. Bitcoin, off another 0.9%. You have Ethereum off by 2.2%, off $75 to $32.39. You jump over to gold, back above 4,000 at 4,005. Crude this morning, talk about an acceleration yesterday to 58.83. We're back to about $60 right now on crude. You jump over to yields in focus. Quite the move yesterday on yields. It's like a 6 basis point move from about 4.15% on Wednesday to about 4.09, the yield on the 10-year yesterday, and that's right where we are right now. 4.09, the 10-year, only one tick lower at 112.25. You jump over to the dollar. And how's that for a reversal? We hit that 100 price point. We're trading lower. You're below yesterday's lows as well. We got that dollar under pressure with the market at 99.57. And yeah, tariffs in focus after the arguments were made, oral arguments made this week on Wednesday. Seemed like the tariffs could be in trouble. We'll see if that was reverberating around this market right now as we got some selling coming into pre-market session lows. All right, let's take a look at some of the airlines. So I'll tell you folks, my mom was supposed to fly today. Today, she was supposed to fly from Tampa to Boston. She gets a text last night that her flight's canceled. Right? So, man, here it comes. So she was supposed to fly today. She gets on JetBlue from Tampa to Boston. She gets a flight, text notification. Flight's been canceled. Eventually, over the course of about 15 minutes, she was rebooked on a later flight that night and had the option to choose Saturday in the morning. So instead of landing in Boston past midnight tonight, she changed it to Saturday. But yeah, it's happening right now. And they're going to go day by day and do what they can. The good news is they got her on a flight the same day. If they book everybody out back on the same day, they canceled only one flight. Okay, so imagine, right? They have many flights that run Tampa to Boston, JetBlue. It's a big route for them. And they only canceled one of the flights. And they're taking that flight and trying to disseminate it among the other flights, right? So that's going to be the goal of the 10% here. But yes, U.S. Airlines cut flights, more cancellations into next week, and it's going to keep going. And hopefully the government gets their act together. And yeah, reductions necessary. And boy, that one makes sense. Okay, they're working without any pain. At some point, everybody has a line. Everybody's got bills, folks, and they got to pay their bills, and they got no problem. They got no reprieve from paying their bills. That's for sure. And yeah, you go up and down the line. JetBlue, 24 flights. My mom was on one of them from Tampa to Boston. Flights scheduled, 727. Canceled flights, 24 of them. No international flights, but yeah, it's coming, man. And it's only going to get worse. And boy, Thanksgiving coming at you. Delta Airlines, you're going to be down about $1. So I think people are going to start to hear these stories everywhere, folks, and it's going to hit. You know, there's going to be real fear. Do you want to go flying? I would not have booked my flight from Boston. I'm flying in a week myself. I would not have booked my flight anticipating this going into it, right? There's going to be a problem. You just wait until it's over. United right now, we're going to be down about $1.50, almost $2 on the open. You jump over to JetBlue shares, slightly in the red at 421 right now for JetBlue as we get the market under pressure a bit. All right, let's take a look at the volume on this market. Now, yesterday, okay, you talk about some volume, folks. That was some selling. Now, we're coming into the bar from October 10th. That was the Friday where tensions arose with China and the 100% tariff got slapped back on, right? We're now well within that bar. Now, on a daily basis, you did 915,000 contracts on the NASDAQ. You traded lower on 746 yesterday, okay? But we're coming into that bar. We got a Friday now, and markets are picking up pretty much right where we left off yesterday. S&Ps yesterday, you do 1.7 million contracts. You're coming into the bars of October 16th, where you did 2.1 and 2.4, right? So there was a lot of volume down there. Jump over to the ETFs on the SPY. It's huge volume on those days, right? October 16th, October 10th, both of them selling days. Do 110 million and 159 million. We only did 85 million yesterday. Jump over the Qs. The selling of the tech stocks is a lot more pronounced than the S&P 500, and that's what's been driving this market. You got the Qs yesterday, 72 million. There's your October 16th day where you did 71 million. You actually got the following day at 72, and that big sell-off day is 97 million. The high from October 10th, folks, 613.18. We just got into it at the end of yesterday. Okay, so you're into this bar right now. In the other side of that context, right? Oh, man, we got quite a sell-off going on, right? NASDAQ down by 2%. All we are, folks, is back to where we were less than a month ago prior to the tensions with China rising. That's all we are. That's the pullback. Okay, yeah, you ran up 47 points in the Qs from 590 to 637 over that period of time to pull back, but that's all we are. We're just at the highs of early October right now in this market. It has been a heck of a run. NVIDIA shares, you're going to be down by $3 on the open. So just like that, NVIDIA gives up $27 from the spike high. $27. That's about $675 billion in market capitalization. They rang the 5 trillion bell, and you jump over where we are right now. Just like that, we're back to 4.5. Yeah. $675 billion in market cap from that spike high that we saw on October 29th. It's November 7th. Yeah, and what is that? Last Wednesday? Last Wednesday. It's Friday. 7 trading days. All right, we jump around to some of the other Magnificent 7. Amazon shares, you're going to be down by a couple bucks this morning. All these stocks under pressure. Okay, can't find a bid right now. Amazon accelerates higher on Monday. Oh, look at this give back. You're right back to where we were in July, just like that. All right, folks, markets under pressure. S&P's negative by 26. NASDAQ 100 off by 136. We're coming right back, folks.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets in the red. S&P's off by about 29 points right now. You take a look at the NASDAQ 100 under pressure. We take a look back on a 10-minute chart right now. And yeah, folks, you're talking about a move of 1,200 points just from where we were 1 week ago. 1,200 points on the NASDAQ 100 under pressure dramatically. You back it up even further than that. Let's go back 10 days, just higher from where we were there. But yeah, you're talking about that move from last Friday, October 31st. 26,274. Tech earnings in focus last week, of course. But boy, we got some selling going on. Okay, now we talk about tariffs. NVIDIA, no plans to ship anything to China during the standoff. Yeah, this company is effectively blocked from selling the AI chips to China for now, as you have those restrictions on the sales into the world's largest semiconductor market, as Bloomberg puts it. But yeah, he's in Taiwan ahead of meetings with Taiwan Semiconductor. Yeah, he's been on quite a tour, right? And yeah, he wants it all. Of course he does. Okay? As in, he wants the ability to sell to China. He's making the case that if they can't sell to China, China's going to win anyway, and so they have to be intertwined. But guess what? As of right now, no active discussions, and then they're not planning to ship anything to China. They have the blessing to sell their less advanced H20 chips to China, but Beijing told its companies to refrain from buying those products in favor of domestic supplies. It's up to China when they would like NVIDIA products to go back to serve the Chinese market. That CEO said, I look forward to them changing their policy and hopefully we'll be able to serve the Chinese market again. He does not want to get in the middle of this. He wants to be in the middle of this to make sure he can sell as many chips. But beyond that, does not want to be doing anything to upset either side. It's a tough one. And NVIDIA in the red this morning. Tesla So Elon gets his $1 trillion Tesla pay package. Now, this would take many years to play out, of course. Okay. What is remarkable is $1 trillion. It's about 3% of the entire GDP. 3% of the entire GDP. Now, that's current. He's going to make the case it's going to be a bigger GDP by the time he grows Tesla. But yes, the GDP, 2024, about $29 trillion. Tesla just signed a deal to pay an employee $1 trillion. And hey, that'll get him motivated. That's the whole idea. And so, yeah, he's out here touting what he can do. And hey, he's talking about these robots, okay? That it's not just going to be something that they're folding laundry. Okay, you're going to have robots that can do high-end surgeries, etc., medical care, right? And you look at these awards that Elon's running up to. Operational milestones, adjusted EBITDA. We're talking adjusted EBITDA. 1 million robo-taxis in commercial operation to hit 3.5 trillion. 1 million robots delivered to hit 3 trillion. It's going to be interesting to see each of these milestones as they approach. 20 million vehicles delivered for $2 trillion. 10 million active full self-driving subscriptions. What does full self-driving actually mean? Right? Nonetheless, it's in there. Now, a little bit of a story of buy the room and sell the news. The market is under pressure, okay? But yeah, we're at the lows of yesterday on this news. We're lower on that news. The market anticipated it was going to happen. It's been quite a run-up from the April lows. We're testing the highs earlier this year, and we're actually selling off on that news. Now, to be fair, there's a lot of selling pressure in this market, folks. Okay? A lot of selling pressure in this market. You come into the tariff volatility about 3,000 points below where we're at right now. And you have a real potential for these tariffs to get unwound. Okay? And the administration will find another way to negotiate and to be able to tariff to a certain degree, I think. You look at the odds, we're down to 80-20. Now, here's what I say about this, though. And there's practically no volume on these odds. Now, there's $800,000 of volume, okay? But people aren't placing it on these types of probabilities, folks. They're basing their opinion on the tariffs from listening to the oral arguments, okay? And it's not a guarantee at all, but it's a definite likelihood that they're going to get overturned. I don't know if they're going to get returned because it's such a mess, okay? And the justices, I think, taking money back out of the Treasury to a certain degree of that magnitude probably worries them in the same way. Because what if this had been going on for a long time, right? And what if the Treasury had taken in $1 trillion already? What if this had been going on for whatever years, okay? And what if they were much higher and the Treasury had taken in $5 trillion, okay? And what if the Supreme Court, forcing the return, would bankrupt the company and force our bonds higher and put it, that scares them too, returning all of that money and the logistics of it. So there's a real chance, I think, that they say, no, they're illegal, but we can't take revenue away from the government and the Treasury that's going to harm it, even though the tax has been collected. I don't know. It's going to play out. But we got an 80-20. But you're only talking about $780,000 of volume, folks. Okay? I mean, you can gain access to $780,000 worth of market exposure for an options position for like 10 grand if you're way out of the money. You want in the position, right? You want margin, you're talking about 200, 300 grand. Very little volume for this market. Now, you look at the order book, okay? How much volume is actually sitting behind the 20 by 21 bid ask? Couple $100, $700, $2,800, $3,300 on one side. You go a lot deeper, okay, yeah, there's a lot of people willing to take these bets far above or below the market, okay? But the actual market itself that it's trading at, extremely thin in terms of bets like this that people are citing all the time, including myself, okay, as to the probabilities that a Supreme Court ruling will take place that'll dramatically impact the market. So be aware when you hear those odds of how little money is actually trading, because that's one of the biggest odd books out there, right? Odds books out there in terms of their Kalshi bets that are catching the most attention right now. The Supreme Court is one of the largest ones out there. All right, it's going to be an interesting Friday in the markets, folks. We got lower action from yesterday, extending lower today. We're almost right at the pre-market lows. You get the NASDAQ 100 off by 0.5%. S&P's right now off by 1/3%. Dow off by 1/4%. We're coming into the opening bell, folks. We got red right now. We check out the VIX as we come into the opening bell. And yeah, we just hit a high of 2088. We're above 2061 for the volatility index. All right, folks, I'm coming back for the opening bell. I'll be right back.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets open, and we open near session lows in the pre-market. NASDAQ 100 off about 160 points right now. Dow off 212. You get the S&Ps off by 34. You jump over to NVIDIA shares. Under pressure, off by 2.2% for NVIDIA. We jump around to some of the other high flyers. Google off by 0.9%. Microsoft slightly in the green this morning. Jump over to Tesla following that pay package. Off by 2% right now. And yeah, the selling's coming back. Be careful in this market, folks. I think we got a risk-off environment right now. Who's stepping in front of this train buying? Because eventually I think you're going to get that headline that the tariffs get overturned. And what does the president do? And that type of volatility, we've seen it. Okay, the market doesn't like it. And I think that's part of what this market's digesting right now. Okay, and there's a lot going on. We got jobs. We got the uncertainty of data. You have Fed speak out there, of course, in the mix as well. And you just throw tariffs on top of it. You look over at the 10-year right now. That's a weekly. You bump up against the higher boundary. You're talking about a 10-year at 4.1% right now. We go back to the daily on the 10-year. Quite the acceleration on some of the jobs data. Yesterday, though, risk off. Selling the market, buying some fixed income. And today we're right there at 4.1. 4.1 on the 10-year. And dollar retreats to 99.55 on a little bit of dollar weakness. You get a little bit of dollar strength sitting at, gold strength sitting at 4,000. All right, we talk a little bit of AI. So some of the aspirations here, OpenAI is going to do $20 billion in annualized revenue this year. Okay, that's not $20 billion in revenue this year. That's annualized revenue. Okay, you got to be careful with that because they're not taking in $20 billion a year. That's going to be the run rate. Okay, by the time they get to the end of the year, I think that's going to be the run rate. Hundreds of billions in sales by 2030. They almost need more money than this. Their aspirations, they need more. They have 1.4 trillion in deals, and they're saying that in 4 or 5 years they'll be taking in hundreds of billions. What about the 1.4 trillion? Where's the profit come from? So this is a capital rollout to the likes we've never seen. I mean, Bezos was the king, right? Never making a penny, all of it going back in. I think OpenAI is going to put that to shame. Microsoft slightly in the green this morning. If they're only going to be at a few $100 billion in revenue by 2030, that money's gone by Tuesday. In terms of the Tesla shareholder vote, where they could spend money with XAI, they still had more votes in favor, but there were a, quote, significant number of abstentions. Since this was an advisory proposal, the board will consider next steps in light of the level of shareholder support. The proposal was for an investment in an amount and form deemed appropriate by the board and was not binding. Musk had publicly been supportive of the idea, floating the prospect of a $5 billion infusion from that public company to his private company. In any other world, folks, that would be a tough one. So yeah, you're going to start hearing a lot about these flights. Airline stocks have been going to be under pressure, folks. Everyone's going to know somebody within the span of a week if they're flying. Everybody. Delta's off 2.5% right now. United's off by 3% right now. American's off 2.5%. If they don't get something done, nobody's going to book flights. Nobody. All right, Tesla off by 3.6%. Quite the run-up as we got a sell-off in the market. NASDAQ approaching 200 points in the red right now. So we look at the heat map on the S&P 500. Consumer staples, slightly in the green. We got Walmart up by 0.5%. Procter & Gamble as well. Not industrials. Tesla in the red, giving it back after that vote. Biggest equities out there trading lower. Google off by 1%. Look at AMD off by 2.6%. Micron had been a big winner. You're off by 1.7%. As we say, keep those spikes up, folks. It's been an extraordinary run. Okay? And that's the most worrisome part when you get a real sell acceleration into a market. Folks, you just went up 10,000 points in the NASDAQ 100 in 6 months. The only real pullback was 2 days in July, and then the China pullback in October. And all we are is back to the beginning of that. So, you want to see something scary? And I'm not here to scare you, but just a natural pullback in this market takes you back to a level of 25,500. 22,500. Okay? Which is still almost 1,500 points higher than where we started the year. So the level of this rise in euphoria with AI deals, and where's the next AI deal? Right? Who was saying that in the den? Somebody was. It's about time we get another deal. And I'm sure they're queuing one up for Monday, man. NASDAQ, though, off 1% right now. On a weekly basis, okay, that's your daily. There's your October 10th pullback that we had. We've seen nothing like this besides October 10th since the April lows. It's going to be the worst week we had since that pullback we had coming into those. And it's not stopping. NASDAQ 100 is about to be down 300%, folks. All right. If you're getting out anytime soon in this market, put a line in the sand. Because unless you're willing to take the heat back to 22.5, back to 21, okay? That's not saying the market's in trouble, folks. That's just saying we got a pullback in a bull market that might be a little bit lofty of where aspirations are. And, the president has shown the ability to surprise the market and withstand some of the negative movements. And if he's got to recalibrate his entire tariff agenda, there's some volatility in the unknown. And I'm pretty sure you're going to have market participants out there that said, man, that rebound in the market was great, but it would have been even better if I didn't ride the market down from 22,000 down to 17,000, okay, on the volatility before we got a little bit of sight through the forest. NASDAQ 100 off by 300 points. NVIDIA off by 2.7%, Amazon off by 1.2%. We check out some of those consumer companies. A little bit of safety. Walmart up by 0.7%. Target up by 0.6%. Procter & Gamble up by 0.9%. We'll come back and look at those equities, folks. NASDAQ 100 off by 1.1%. We'll come right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds for both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We got the NASDAQ 100 off by 1.1%. We got selling coming back into this market. We put it back on a 5-minute to see the move. A little bit of a bounce there. But, boy, you're down by 280 right now. S&P's off by 52. And as I mentioned, consumer staples, some of the only areas in the green. You got Mickey D's up by 0.8% right now. Coca-Cola up by a full percentage. Pepsi up by 0.3%. Procter & Gamble in the green. Walmart, Costco up by 0.7%. Microsoft, one of the only tech stocks in the green, by about 0.3% right now. Visa and MasterCard slightly in the green as well. What do we got right now? Expedia. All right, Expedia. There you go. Look at Expedia, man. All right, we take a longer term look at this equity. Blowing apart the all-time highs. You talk about a run, man. 2 years, you're up from $100 to $255. That's your monthly. Let's take a look at the weekly. Boy, that's quite a breakaway. And we're going to do some volume today when you're up by 16%. Expedia shares on a volume, on a weekly basis, already we're going to be more volume than we've done since the beginning of August, their last earnings. It's a one-way trip, man. That is a strong-looking equity right now. All right, we jump back to Bitcoin. So you talk about underperforming. Yeah, how about giving back all the gains this year? Okay, we got a lot of euphoria in this market. Tech stock, growth stock, everything dramatically higher. And don't think the NASDAQ 100 can't give up the gains this year when you have Bitcoin giving up the gains. 100,000. Now, they are not created equal, the NASDAQ 100 and Bitcoin, but they did trade together for a strong period of time. And when you think about the deals getting done in crypto in this administration, well, guess what? It was a story of living up to the expectation, okay? Trump got elected at 70,000. Right? Yeah, you're trading at 100,000. Okay, so you're up 50% from that move in November. But boy, you talk about a pullback, and there's no strength in that market right now. On a weekly basis, you got selling. And we'll see. You might drive lower on lighter volume this week, but Bitcoin, tough to make the argument for a buy. When pressure is to the downside and you're breaking important lows, you're at the 100,000 price point. Doesn't get much more important than that critical area. Check out crude. Under pressure as well. You know, I was saying yesterday, folks, to a friend, so gas at Sam's, we'll throw Sam's in there. Darth, you out there listening, brother? We'll throw Sam's in there. $2.73. $2.73, the price of unleaded gas at Sam's, $2.73 a gallon. Okay, there's a lot of stores, folks. You can probably go into Publix and find a gallon of water. What's a gallon of water? Let's see. What's a gallon of Zephyr Hills water cost at Publix? Let's see if I can find out. Point being, folks, yeah, this is wild. A 2.5 gallon is showing at $5.53. Let's see what the gallon pops up at. What's it going to be, Publix? No, that's too many. I want a gallon. I'll pull it up. A gallon of water costs more than a gallon of gas right now. Okay, I don't think it can stay like this forever. Short term, though, I'm not buying crude just yet, man. Okay, you cannot find a bid right now that lasts, but pay attention to that bid we got on October 20th with all that buying. Okay, that low there, 55.96. Maybe that's where the buy is, because at some point that's going to revert. Yeah, and gallons aren't going to be that expensive for regular water, but I bet you can find one at a good grocer that's a good bottle of water that's just not the cheapest one. California gas, $4.05. That's a tough one. $2.73 at Sam's. $2.73. Tell you. Yeah, there you go. Looks like it's showing, Instacart's showing me a public brand bottle of water is $1.47. So show me the premium water, Zephyr Hills. All right, let's jump around to some of the other equities. We jump over to Netflix, NFLX. Positive on a negative market day. There you go. Netflix shares 1,100 on the dot right now. We dump over to Disney, up by 0.5%. Warner Brothers Discovery up by 0.5% as well. Paramount Skydance in the green as well. Look at that, all the streamers. Nasdaq's off by 300 again. Keep those spikes up, folks. This is Friday. You want to go into the market in the weekend? There's a lot of volatility out there of unknowns. The market does not like unknowns, folks. Okay, we're talking about it in the den yesterday. This is not a story that this is going to tank the U.S. economy if tariffs get overturned. It's just a period of uncertainty. And that is a tough one. The market does not like uncertainty. The market wants to be able to price risk, price probabilities, okay, and almost arbitrage everything once they have all the probabilities in play. The last thing they want is to have an unknown that they have no idea of, just like the public does. Take a look at some of the other equities positive today. Walmart. Let's take a look at the volume on this thing recently. On a daily basis, Walmart shares. Okay, that's a nice price area in Walmart, right? Check it out. You accelerate on higher volume, you gap higher, you come back, you fill the gap. Yeah, a little bit of sell on October 31st. But that was your buy-in right there. You know, Walmart's changing the game, folks. They are. And I'm sure Amazon's on the same train, but they get different deals in terms of Walmart, the in-store shopping. Okay, but at Sam's, I noticed that everything is packaged differently now. Okay, there's subtle differences, but what you're going to notice is everything's going to start having a barcode on multiple sides of the package. Okay, why is that? Because you're going to walk in and out of stores, and you're going to have cameras scanning every item in your grocery store, in your cart, and that's it. All the items now, because I do scan and self-scan, scan and go from Sam's, and you scan your own items in the cart using your phone, the app, and then you pay right there, and all you do is you walk out, and the attendant usually says, "Yep, we got you," right? And the system beeps. And so I scan every item. I've done it for months. There's been a change. The items have more codes on them now. Right? It took some time, but the manufacturers they're working with, they told them, hey, you got to have barcodes on at least the front and the back so that if we got to be able to see one side, doesn't have to be on all four, two different sides is where they are. And it's so simple, folks. I walk in there on the weekends, and I use Scan and Go. And as I walk out, there's 10 aisles of people checking out, 4 people waiting for each aisle to check out, and I just check out. It's coming. Scan and Go. Markets in the red. One more segment. We'll come right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets in the red. S&P's off by 45. NASDAQ 100 off by 264 right now. And yeah, we jump back to that heat map. You take a look, and tech stocks dramatically. Oracle off 3.2% right now. Some of the industries that are getting helped, yeah, consumer staples. Tariffs could be in focus, folks. Okay, you look at this market, right? Walmart, Costco, Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, Pepsi, Colgate-Palmolive, Mondelez. Yeah, Constellation Brands up by 1.1%. You know, you're seeing a risk-off environment of the stocks that might get clobbered on a market pullback, and you're seeing a shift to an acceleration higher of the equities that would benefit. Walmart, Target, across the board. NASDAQ off by 1% right now, just off the lows, but on a weekly basis, yeah, we got some selling. Remember, that's the week we had the 100% tariffs put back in place. Tariffs are in focus yet again. You know, not a coincidence. We're ripping lower right now. when we got tariff volatility uncertainty yet again. All right, we check back in on yields. Yeah, holding somewhat steady right now. We're at about 4.1 on the 10-year. Dollar's weak right now. Looks like we got another rollover right at 100. Dollar's off 200 right now. That's going to help gold. Gold up $7, sitting basically at 4,000. We jump over to silver right now, up 20 pennies. Platinum up about $10. You jump over to copper. Copper flat at 496. Nice round number, 25,000. NASDAQ, a little line in the sand. We're sitting right at the highs of September 22nd. All right, folks, thanks so much for kicking your Friday morning off right here with me. Stay tuned. We got to replay this hour. Basil's out today. We got our man Steve Rhodes live at 11. Fast Market at 12. Larry live at 1 o'clock today. I'll be back live from 3 till 4. Where's the market going to be the next time I see you at 3 o'clock? Stay tuned, folks. Steve Rhodes live at 11 o'clock. We're coming right back. We'll be back. Have a great one, folks.